Hello friends, welcome to the channel, Bob here. Welcome to Vanguard. This is going to be like a playthrough of Vanguard on the Vanguard emulator, which is currently going. I started playing the game the other day, and I must confess that I've really enjoyed it. I played it about a year ago, you may remember, very briefly. Didn't really get anywhere. But they've been doing a lot of work on it and things, and it's still active from a development point of view. So I thought it would be a good game, seeing as something I never played before. It's kind of tied up in the legacy of EverQuest, etc. Yeah, I thought it'd be a good game to do, like a playthrough through. Playthrough of, and kind of in a structured way, as I was talking about in a previous video. So it kind of makes sense. And this is Ogre Shaman, or actually it's a half giant Shaman, but I think it's the closest I could get. And this is basically what you get when you on a half giant, when you turn all the everything up. Basically, that's what you get. pretty awesome. You even get some hair, and they don't quite look as stupid as ogres. But yeah, that's it. That's the character. This is the first part of the video. Some of the introduction, some of the first part. I'm going to start on the start. Basically, it's like the introductory aisle or the newbie aisle. But some of that I did with you could see it with a necromancer, pretty much straight from the beginning. So if you want to see that part of it, then go ahead and watch that to get an idea of what's going on the newbie island. At the end of the newbie island, there is a dungeon and stuff, and it introduces you to flying mounts and whatnot. So I'll probably get this character to that point, and then I'll kind of finish off the video rather than kind of repeating the same content I've already done on a video just a few days ago. I'll kind of finish off that video, but with a different class. And I'm looking forward to playing the Shaman. Don't know what it's going to be like. No idea. Is it like EverQuest? Completely different? No idea. Who knows? We'll just have to see. But anyway, let's see if we can finish the character and get into. Yeah, so the Isle of Dawn, I think, is kind of like the introductory newbie isle, basically, like a tutorial. Oh, that's a good image. And we're in. Here we go. So the Shaman, so the Necromancer video I did basically starts from this point. And what I'll do is I'll play through to the point. I'll probably play through to the point where you get towards the end of the newbie isle, and we'll go through the dungeon together with the Shaman, just to see how things work out. But anyway, yeah, I'll be back. Hello guys, welcome back to the video. So this is my Shaman. We're now level 9. I'm not sure if you can see, but on the video, I think you probably can, but the draw distance is absolutely phenomenal in this game. You can see so far. What you need to do is, there's a command that you need to type in. I think it's /set fog space, then just type in like 7 or 8 nines or something. Press enter, and that will remove the kind of like the misty fog of war type effect. Yeah, and you can see everywhere, which is pretty awesome. But anyway, we're just about to do some flying, and we've got up to level 9, and I'm around. From a questing point of view, the game, the starter aisle's got quests that you kind of take you right through, basically, through this particular section, all the way to the end where you can then leave, or there's some other stuff you can do, which I'll talk about later. But I'm about to do some flying, and we're quite close to the end of the starter aisle. I don't know if you can see it from here. I don't think so, but there is a dungeon that we need to go into to clear out and kill a boss. But what I'm about to do is take my first flight. So this quest has got us going to scout markers, basically. I know the map's small, but the first one is just here. And you need to fly to get to them, because they can be quite... Oh, actually... I've just noticed an issue. So you only keep the Pegasus for a limited amount of time, and there are 2 quests you need to do that kind of involve flying around, really. And I don't think you can do them within a time limit, so you have to come back and get another one. But I need to now rent one, because don't get your free one and then log out, because basically what that means is that you're then left. The time carries on running when you're offline, which is quite annoying. So, yeah, that's an issue. So I'm going to call my Pegasus. So you get a free one to do some of this quest, but my one has run out, frustratingly. Yeah, so I've had to rent one, so don't make that mistake. And then off we go. yeah, so you've got these markers you need to go and scout. They're generally kind of floating in the air, so you do need to have a Pegasus. There's the dungeon that we need to go in at the end of the video. I know I said it previously on... The marker can be at any height. There it is. So keep an eye out for it. It's like a glowing... If you can see it there, it's like a glowing fireball. So keep an eye out for the marker. That's it. That's the first one done. Second marker is kind of behind us. Just over this way. Yeah, the game's got a great skybox. Like, really awesome. Like, better than a number of we're going the wrong way. Better than a number of MMOs I'm playing at the moment. Even newer ones. Yeah, it's really, really good. And as I said, when you do the /set fog setting, our server shutting down in 15 minutes. That's annoying. Okay, maybe I can get some of this stuff done before the server shuts down. As I said, like, the markers that you need can be at kind of any height, so you need to search them out. I think it's maybe just over here. Doesn't seem as though it's a higher one. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. There you go, that's the second one. Okay, so that's the marker. These are the markers that you need to do for one of the quests. I thought I'd just show you a little bit of flying. The world looks great from up here, and I'll be back. Hello friends, welcome back to the video. So we've made our way pretty much towards the end. We've got like 2 more quests to do on the starter isle. Basically, we've come to a dungeon crawl, which we'll just go through. The Shaman essentially kind of tanks through mobs. I've got a dot and I've got a direct damage spell, but not really doing anything much at the moment, so I can't just tank heal through combat. I'm not sure how it's going to be in here because we'll kind of get multiple mobs. I mean, I've actually taken on like 3 mobs with him. Bit hairy, but I kind of managed to heal through them. The difficulty does ramp up in this dungeon. Basically, there's a couple of mobs that we need to kill in the dungeon to finish this quest here. We need to get a couple of poems, and then we just got to kill a boss at the end. I think there's a couple of quests inside the dungeon as well. So I guess this video is primarily going to be like a dungeon run. It's interesting, when your character has got a dot on someone, it does a... I'm going to leave this mob, I think. Every time the dot ticks, it does an animation, which is quite weird. Here we go. When you come in, there are kind of some NPCs standing around. Like NPCs kind of on your side, standing around where there are mobs and stuff. Doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. But then, as I said before, the game is just running through. The game is, you know, still... The team trying to recreate Vanguard are still working on it. So we've come here to put an end to corruption. Okay, so basically we need to fight Zalaz, who's a character you find. Not fight him, you need to kind of get his favour. He's like a demon type character that you meet in the game early on, and he bestows you with some help, like some protection basically. So I don't want this to take too long. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter how long the video is. But we'll see if we can blast through, do what needs to be done. I must say that the starter isle, I'm not sure what it's going to be like when you get off the starter isle, but the starter isle is quite it's quite simple. I'm not sure if that's because it's an introduction, and things just get tougher. yeah, when you get off of it, we'll have to see. Things like dots at the moment, it's kind of almost not worth using because the combat just doesn't really last long enough for it to make it to be worthwhile. Essentially, I might chuck like a direct damage spell on or something, but other than that, see if I can get a couple of spirit strikes off. Yeah, so my direct damage does like 11% damage. Actually, when you look at like things like mana and like mana costs and stuff for spells as well, you've got like a mana and a green bar, which I'm assuming is like some kind of stamina. So when you cast spells or you do any when you do like a combat action, you use stamina and spells for mana. But neither of them kind of seem to really be going down to a point where you've got to worry about these kind of things at the moment. So again, it's all stuff that I'm just not sure if it's because it's kind of like a newbie isle to introduce to the game, or maybe it's even like the developers have kind of got some things tuned up basically, so it just makes it easier for you to level and test and whatnot. I mean, I'll find out once I get off of the. My Shaman has a strike spell, like a melee attack that does that is kind of like my primary source of damage. It seems to work pretty well at the moment. I've got like root and stuff like that, but to be honest with you, I just haven't really needed to use them yet. But I'm hoping the difficulty of the game increases at some point, and it becomes more, I guess a bit. It's not EverQuest, but maybe a bit more EverQuesty. With regards to just kind of fighting mobs anyway. I could try using. I haven't actually used the route, so next time we get a double pull, like here, I'll see how the route works. Well, I mean, it worked. The models on some of the mobs are cool. I'm not sure if the whole world is, but I like the fact that it's kind of themed on real world cultures as well. I'm not sure if the whole game's like that, but yeah. So you'd have expected that mob like there may have been a bit tougher, as he's, I guess, unnamed. Well, they're saying that I think he's kind of always there. He does drop a ring though, which I'll check out at some point in the future. Now there was a roamer here, wasn't there? I'm loving the half giants. It was kind of the thing, yeah, the thing that most resembled an ogre, so I kind of went with it. And I turned all of his, even turning all of his, like when you're designing a character, turning up all of the sliders to be as chunky and meaty as possible. Still didn't quite turn out like an ogre, but it's pretty decent nonetheless. It's funny trying, I'm not sure if anyone else does it, but it's kind of trying to recreate a character from another game in a game. But it's even more interesting in this game because obviously, you know, it's a part of the, I guess, EverQuest legacy, I guess, in a way. So creating a shaman in this game, yeah, was even a bit more interesting. I've noticed you can kind of, oh, there's two there actually, so I might as well get off a couple of nukes. I've noticed you can kind of like body pull quite easily. I've also noticed sometimes you go through, a bit like EverQuest I guess, really, you go through a real selection of like misses. Like, so my strike ability will often miss a number of times in a row. Seems to be doing okay here though. Maybe, I'm not sure what level the mobs are. Not sure if they're maybe just a bit lower level in here. You get like the way that your character progresses as well is pretty. It's very different to EverQuest. Obviously, I think someone on the stream yesterday said it came out in 2007. So, or the other day, whenever the stream was. Yeah, so it just means that by this time they'd looked at other games, incorporated some of those ideas. So your equipment progression is pretty good. You know, you get magical items to outfit your character with pretty much with every quest that you do, and you get drops off of mobs and stuff as well. So this guy gives you some quests. Yes, this is Zalaz again. Okay, so he wants us to kill Warlocks and Eyes of Pain. So we'll get that done. It's interesting listening to some of the comments you made on this game, on the previous stream that I did. It just feels like a game that so many people were hyped for, but yeah, just ended up disappointed in, unfortunately. I'm not sure how long it took them to kind of remedy the issues that the game had on release, but it doesn't look like it survived long beyond its release date. I'm not sure, actually. I need to check when it went offline. It's a shame, because it does have so many great ideas that I'm kind of surprised that other MMOs haven't incorporated. You know, it's quite a weird thing. But I think everyone, even pretty much from World of Warcraft on, I think most developers. Oh, that was a mistake. I think most developers, see if we can heal through this. I think most developers just got the World of Warcraft thing, and that was pretty much it. You know, they didn't want to move away from that. And I think most games try to just follow that blueprint, basically. It's interesting playing this though, and I'm not sure if some of those guys worked on this game, but Pantheon is definitely stealing some ideas from this game. I mean, this game even has a system called a perception system. I think it might be called something else, but it's similar to something that Pantheon is doing, where it's about your perception of the world around you and what you see and notice, that kind of thing. And sometimes you'll get like messages come up when you're running around in a similar way to I've seen on Pantheon. So yeah, I mean, that'll be pretty good if they take some ideas from games like this. Absolutely. Not sure if anyone saw the recent Pantheon video. I kind of stopped following it from like a content creator point of view, because I just don't, you know. I think the content creators that are kind of talking about it the most on videos are just too caught up in it, and I don't think they seem to be able to be particularly unbiased, you know. And I think to hear that the big streamer person who recently invested in the game, like, to me kind of means that, again, I can't really take anything he said about the game seriously, because he's got a vested interest. So yeah, I'm just kind of following it by just occasionally reading, catching up on patch notes, just to see what changes they're making and stuff. Yeah, but it's certainly, I'm certainly hoping it's a game that offers everything that I'm looking for, so that I can kind of not be playing so many MMOs. That's as many MMOs as I am. But yeah, you just don't know. It'll be interesting. I think the best thing I've heard about Pantheon is like when questioned about how they feel about like classes. Oh god, I pulled another 3 mobs. About classes being in balance, like so some classes are better at soloing and stuff. And I think it was the lead dev just said, well, that's life. You know, that's not something that we will balance the game around, which I like. He said that they'll step in, obviously, if there's something that's really broken, but if there's classes that can do things better than other classes, like soloing, for example, then we're not, you know, that's not going to be, it's not going to be a concern, which I like. I think even EverQuest back in the day got far too caught up in. I love this guy's outfit. I like the hat. Got caught up far too much in you know, nerfing stuff. I think developers in general do that, and I think unfortunately they do it based on what the loudest portion of the audience are saying, which can be, yeah, which I don't really think helps at all. So I think this is where we talk to Zalaz. Looks like there's a chest here that we need to get stuff from as well. I'm interested to try some other classes now, just to get some sort of idea of the gameplay. It's difficult. Like, I want to get off the starter isle first, But I'm interested to see how they do like a roguey sneaky class. You know, that seems interesting. I'm interested to. I think it was the only class that I played when I played the game for a little while before. But I'd be interested in playing the equivalent of the Enchanter class. You know, to see how that works out. That'd be quite interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to know if any of you guys are thinking of trying it, particularly those of you who remember the game fondly and played it back in the day. Maybe you'll wait for this emulator to be a bit more finished. I really don't know how much work they've got left to do. Okay, so I think we need to summon him here somewhere. Or have I done something wrong? Do I need to activate something? Let's check my inventory. I'm not sure if there's something I need to activate to... Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, so talk to him. You basically need to be nice to him. Forgive me, my intentions were only good. I don't wish to fight you. I seek your protection. Very well, he shall bestow this gift upon me, which he has done. I can't see the gift as a buff, but hopefully it's worked. So that's it for this part of the quest. Now we need to go back again. I kind of know what I'm doing here because I did this with a couple of friends of the channel on my Necromancer the other day. Oh, it's quite nice that the... which way should we go? Oops, no, don't pull 4 mobs. I quite like the fact that the spawn rate is quite generous. I think it must be 5 or 6 minutes. So you can, oh. Things are going down the pan rapidly. At least we did that wing of the dungeon first. I guess there's going to be some more mobs spawning here, but hopefully I can clear these 2 out and just run around. It's only early days, but I'm slightly disappointed in the Shaman at the moment. I do quite love the feel and stuff, and a lot of the spells are familiar from EverQuest, but I literally am just like a healy tank at the moment. I think, do I need to still kill? I've completed that. Okay. So I think we can go and turn in our quest here for that dude. Then we can go to the other side of the dungeon. I'm always interested to hear you guys talking about MMOs and stuff, and I know a lot of you seem to be in a similar situation to me at the moment, where you're kind of between MMOs and you're just faffing around with other stuff because there's nothing that's really holding your attention. And I'm going to do a video about that kind of topic, mainly about how I'm playing MMOs and how it's changed over the last couple of years. Okay, so we've dealt with that quest. I'm not sure if they've itemised it correctly yet, but all of these... Oh, level 10! I've got a couple of new spells to get. Getting caught on that is annoying. Not very good. Yeah, it's interesting. Like there's, as I said before, there's so many MMOs available, but there isn't one that like. I was listening to watching a video the other day, and it was talking about MMO content creators, and one of the topics was talking about the advantage of being a content creator that. The advantages, disadvantages of being a content creator that covers all MMOs and one that kind of specialises. And I wouldn't mind like having 1 or 2 that I specialised in. I know it used to be P99. There's no reason. I'm kind of hoping that might be one of them again. You know, if you watched my previous Channel Burt video, you know, I'm hoping to do. Well, I'm definitely doing like some more cohesive kind of series on that. Yeah, but it'll be nice for a new MMO to come out, and it could just really kind of focus down on it and like become an expert and do all the content and all that kind of stuff. But there are just certain aspects that I'm just not finding like at all rewarding on them, unfortunately. There is a named mob here, isn't there? He hasn't spawned yet. But yeah, as I said, like I know some of you are in a similar sort of situation. Between MMOs, I guess we are, until something drastic happens to to move us out of that. Got to be careful here because you've got some dudes, and there's a Roman that comes around the corner here, so we'll wait for them. There's also that named, but I'm not sure if the named spawn a bit slower. Not sure. I think at this point, until other games come out, I'd be quite happy if New World kind of just did a bit more of its PvE content. I think, and kind of like loose, like, you know, like chilled out a bit with regards to like what you can and can't do in a group or whatnot. Like I find it daft, and it's not just New World. It's like a couple of other games that I've played as well, like Lost Ark. Like there are certain content like dungeons and stuff that you can't go into if you're not in a group, and I don't get that. I don't get what that I don't get what that limitation is trying to achieve, really. Like, even if it's too hard for you, it's just like I'd love to go into some New World dungeons, just to go in when if I had the odd hour or so, just to faff around in. That'd be quite a nice thing to do. But the fact that there's like barriers in the way, I really don't understand that. Even if they were too hard, I wouldn't care. You know, it's just another content, another avenue to doing something a bit different. But that's like one of the things, I'll talk about this in a video that I kind of do on the subject. That's one of the things I've found a bit more with some of the more modern MMOs, is that they seem to be quite into their like roadblocks. Even like more modern indie MMOs, that EverQuest kind of had EverQuest's roadblock was essentially your level. You know, there were some like bigger areas, like raid areas and stuff that you needed keys and whatnot for, but generally, like most of the content, was not blocked off and from a point of view in that if you got to the level requirement, you could go and do it. You know, there wasn't anything holding you back in that regard. But it just feels as though like more modern MMOs are throwing these things up. I'm not sure if it's because they're not confident in their content, so they need to stop people doing stuff in a certain fashion. Because it will have an impact on longevity and stuff. I mean, I don't think they kind of quite understand gaming sometimes, or how gamers' minds work. Even if you're a group player, I'm pretty sure that there'll be times where most players would like to just stick their head in a dungeon, even just for the immersive factor, or the story, or whatever it may be. But they block these things off. It's quite weird. The New World, as the game has gone along, has removed some of that kind of road blocking they did with things like Azoth, like fast travel, bank space, all that kind of stuff. So maybe they will. Maybe we'll get to that point again. We need to be careful here because you kind of fall down on some like teleporter thing. But you kind of, come on. Oh, I made it. Thank God for that. Because this is frustrating. That is frustrating when we tried to do it the other day. The platform, it's not a great platform. It's not Mario Brothers, which is fair enough. I'm not expecting it to be. But it was annoying. I'm actually really interested to get to the off of the newbie island, just to see how it changes from a difficulty point of view. I think someone made arcane focus. I'm going to run out of inventory space in a minute. I don't need to kill those dudes. I don't think. I think I need to go down here and go through this section just to... I think that's what we needed that protection for. We do need to find one more Shitaru to finish that quest, but I think it might be in here, and I think we've got a boss to kill. Okay, what's happened? Okay, I had to use the protection, did I? Well, I can't get through the thing here, which is quite annoying. See, I'm sure the whole point of doing that quest, again, is, oops, don't want to die, heal, come on. I'm sure the whole point of doing that quest was to get you through this bit, I think, basically. And you're carrying this thing, gift that can be used to protect yourself. Okay. There's a quest where you need to get blood on yourself. And maybe I haven't finished that quest. So I seem to remember that. Maybe that's what the problem is. So I'll go back and do that, then come back again. Hello, welcome back. So you have to go back and speak to the spirit at the beginning of the dungeon. He gives you a quest beyond the glass, and then you need to kill a few mobs until you complete the barrier access bit. You just have to get blood on you, basically, from one of these mobs. I guess it's probably part of the development thing as well, but what I've kind of noticed is things like, so the Magus over there, I don't think they cast spells. But maybe that's just part of the whole thing. Yeah, just to finish off what I was saying earlier, like, do you guys kind of I guess you kind of watch a bit of everything, really, but do you have content creators that really focus down on an MMO, and that's the kind of thing you like for hints and tips and all that kind of stuff, or do you do... Ooh, this is going badly. Where did this dude come? Oh, it's going really badly. I think we can get this one down quick. I think we can probably tank through this damage. Yep, seem to be all right. I do like the fact that the shaman's quite tanky and can kind of heal himself through damage, through encounters. But I would like to be able to make use of some of the other spells at some point a bit more. We'll have to see. I could have rooted then and moved back a bit, but I've kind of... There's a last Shitaru that we need, but I kind of find that like you can kind of tank through 3 mobs maybe. Ooh, that was a bit of an alpha strike though. Yeah, I'm not sure if they've got abilities that they're using, but I haven't seen... I've just noticed I've got something new on my weak spirit bond. Scammadiz. Forms a weak spirit bond with Scammadiz, the vulture. Interesting. So I kind of have these what seem like stances. I've got this one which I'm currently in. It's like healing power. This one increases melee damage by 5%. Ah. Oh, look at that. A little flaming bird thing appeared. Oh, that's cool. A lot of these mobs belong to a house of some kind, which is quite interesting. I wonder if there's like lore for that and stuff. I have to look into that. We definitely want that. Oh, we have to take all, do we? Not enough space in my inventory. Great. Okay. I mean, we've literally got so much inventory space. It's a bit crazy. But there you go. Let's dump some stuff. Let's dump that. There's a lot of tat that you get. Hit points, energy. Ooh, got a new belt there. We'll definitely have some of that. Okay. Kresnak, the Grave Ravager. It would be nice if there was a bit more going on here. Like, a lot of these mobs kind of just seem to have name. Ooh. When our little melee thing procs, you get like a... Oh, look. It procs quite a lot as well. Nice. And again. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, this guy's hitting hard. Kresnak. He's a brute. Yeah, apart from them doing damage, they're not. Maybe this is all part of the development of the emulator, but they're not doing a huge amount. You know, you don't really see them doing any abilities or using any spells or anything. So let's chuck some of this stuff away. Okay, here we go. My buffs have gone. I need to deal with that. Ikudai up there, he's the dude. You've got 3 stars, but I think I love that ability when it goes off. I wonder if there's other animal like aspects you can get. What does it do? Adds a chance to drain life. Okay, so that proc must be like drain life, I guess. Really interesting. It must. I hardly notice it. That must be like quite a small drain. I like the way that you. I mean, I like the dungeon crawling aspect, but at the moment it's just too easy. I know that these mobs are two stars, which I think is meant for a solo player, and I can only just assume that it's going to get harder when you get off of this island. I love the design though, like the location design. Definitely do that thing that I mentioned as well about set fog and then give it a massive number, because that is like the draw distance outside is gorgeous. And I guess we're at a point graphics card wise now where you don't even have to worry about the it taxing your graphics card at all. Oh, that's bad news. What's he gonna do? Oh, wow, that was... Oh, heal quick. No, I died. God damn it. Oh, look at that. Got all that way and we died. Oh, man. I don't know how I managed to pull both of those. I think this is where the Pegasus are. But maybe they just haven't loaded in yet. So I'll have to wait and see. Anyway, I'll stop the video here. It's because it's a long one, you know, and then we'll finish it off. Hello guys, we've made it back. Just fought my way through the dungeon again. I just remembered that you get this thing. It says it protects you from some of the most harmful abilities. So I guess I need to use that. I think I've got a few minutes here. I'd like to pull that eye on its own, just to get it out of the way. But I'm not sure if they're linked or not. I guess if they're linked, I've got to deal with it anyway, right? So, oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, it might make things a bit easier. Okay. Well, I remember the orb. So let's I'm not sure I don't want any of these mobs to add that are wandering near him. So I'll wait for them to go. Pull him, then we'll use our whatevers. See if I can get some damage on him first. Oh, bloody hell. Still doing tons of damage. I think this is basically heal, then spank. Oh, that was a big one. I think we've won this one. Darn it. Unless he one-shots us, which he didn't. He didn't drop any loot, though, actually. Okay, so done. I'll get out and then we'll finish the video. Hello, welcome back to the video. So here we are at the end of the Isle of Dawn, or the kind of what feels like the starter isle. Hovering high up above here on our Pegasus. You actually get your own Pegasus when you complete the main quest, which is really cool. Yeah, no, I'm having a whale of a time in Vanguard at the moment. It's really awesome. It's nice to play something very different, but at the same time, comfortingly familiar. Yeah, I look forward to doing some more videos on the game. I'm not leaving the island yet because I haven't done any diplomacy or any gathering or crafting yet, and there's plenty of that still on this island before I leave. So I'm going to do some of that to get my skills up. The next video will probably be when I've left the island, but I'll talk a little bit about diplomacy and gathering and crafting and stuff as well at that point. Yeah, I think I need to fly back to kind of pretty much near where I started from, just to speak to, just to start off the gathering and the diplomacy quests and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, guys, Vanguard emulator, having a great time. I haven't got myself a really nifty cloak. It's funny, in the last few quests there, I got myself some like really big upgrades, so I'm kind of wondering if that's just preparing me for the for getting off the island. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.